Coin drop. Screen flash. The high score. Boss laugh.
Thumb sore, same fight. Lost track of the time all night. Snacks gone, eyes red. Still shouting one more instead. Distracted gamers, press start. Button mashing from the heart. Round one, game on. We get hit, go harder. Distracted gamers, press start.
In a that's a good way to start. Just a big heavy cough.
We are sickly on this podcast.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Doing fine earlier. This podcast. Oh, and it's Silver.
It's me.
How gracious of you to join us. We have momentous news to talk about. Kind of earth-shattering, really important news when it comes to the gaming world. And Ross wasn't supposed to be here, but he's gracious with his presence because he has things to say.
Let's hope.
So we might as well not waste our time and jump back into it. In an unexpected turn of events, Phil Spencer is apparently retiring. I say apparently because there might be more attached to that. That's right. Phil Spencer is going to be gone. You might go, oh, that's interesting. He's been there for, 12 years at this point?
Yeah. That's a long time.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with it. This sounds like a plan. Well, on top of that, Sarah Bond also leaves at about the same time, which made everybody go, wait, why is she leaving now?
But she's done so much.
Yeah, also one of the... what area was she in charge of, Ross?
Oh, God. What was it again? Hold on. Let me use my Google
Xbox
foo. I can't
president.
remember the position.
Xbox president, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Spencer was, the CEO, but they changed his name at some point. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Now you might go, oh, well, what's happened? This is just normal corporate shakeup, right? Maybe not. He's being replaced by somebody called Asha Sharma, and we will get into her as well.
Well, when you mention a foreign name and a she, alarm bells start ringing right now. You know what I mean?
The alarm bells are different. Before we get into any of that, let's at least walk down memory lane. For those of you who might be curious as to what on earth has been going on, what this might mean to Xbox or the gaming community as a whole, which sparked a conversation between me and Ross about what is actually going on in the gaming community. Because we started taking stock at a bunch of strange things that have been happening. Now, Xbox was originally intended as a console that would be easy to create to compete with the other gaming platforms.
Yeah.
Basically.
The reason why the original Xbox is so big is because they put a lot of stock parts into it from PCs, because Microsoft could make this stuff easily.
Right.
Originally, Microsoft's intention was to work with Sega to put out a joint console, which is why the original Xbox controller kind of looks like the Dreamcast controller.
Yeah.
But Sega went down, and Microsoft kept on with their plan and created their own console. Now, Microsoft probably hit its peak with the Xbox 360.
Sadly.
Oddly enough, that console also was one of the most busted pieces of hardware that's ever been seen.
There were a lot of problems with the 360.
Yeah.
The problem is Microsoft Xbox itself, the brand, hasn't been the same since the Xbox One era. Now, we've talked about this before, so I'm only going to touch on it lightly. The big change with the Xbox One era is they had an entire philosophical change as opposed to the 360. Instead of just focusing on games and a gaming platform, they were trying to create a home entertainment hub where you could do everything within this console. And they thought that doing this would be able to chase a wider demographic than simply gamers. And the problem with their approach is it chased away gamers. And for various reasons, it the always online DRM check really felt big brothery. The Kinect that was bundled in and had to work with it was always listening, which is funny because all of these things that we decried at the time as a big overstep in our privacy become commonplace nowadays because everybody's got an Alexa or a Google Home that's listening to you all of the time. All of these consoles have always online where they update in the background. The PlayStation 5 has it. The Switch has it. I didn't have my Switch connected to the internet for a few days, and I couldn't play games at one point, and I forgot, it needs to check online to make sure I own it. Oh, that's gay.
Yeah, that sucks, especially for a handheld. Ridiculous.
So despite being destroyed, the Xbox One, for these things, these have become industry standards.
Yeah.
Now, the Xbox One tried to reverse that to some degree. And in many ways, they kind of double back. There was sort of a big
disastrous E3.
Right. Well, there was a big ignoring of backwards compatibility and stuff. We had that famous quote from Don Matrick. It's like, well, if you have games that you want to play that you can't play in your Xbox One console, we have another platform called the Xbox 360 you can use.
Yeah.
Which is not an argument. It's like, well, if you don't like it, go play the other older, shittier console.
And basically, that's the touch grass.
Right. But we moved to the Xbox Series X era, and in the meantime, after Don Matrick and his failure, I think most would say, helming Xbox, we moved on to Phil Spencer. Now, Phil Spencer really did a lot of reputation rebuilding. He talked about games. He was enthusiastic about the console. He cared about the games. And he was a good spokesperson for Xbox. Whether or not the console rebuilt itself and retook first place is another story. I thought Phil Spencer was a great CEO, but consoles live and die by the exclusives. And I feel like I have to talk down to people who are listening to this, but it's important to say, because it's funny, you play, you have a console, and then you hear everybody go, well, it's crap, I don't want it's exclusive, I want to be able to play it on my console. The reason why things are exclusive is to justify buying the console. That's why, if it wasn't for exclusives, there'd be no reason to buy one console over other for the most part. Well, I like the controller better. It's the reason why you buy an Xbox is so you can play Halo, and the reason why you buy a PlayStation, you play God of War. I mean, these are the justifications for why these consoles are a thing. And why that's why Nintendo with Mario, you want to play a Mario game, you got to go to Nintendo. And that's why these consoles are established as separate as they are, because otherwise there's no reason to have a console if you're just going to spread them to other things. Now that I've set that up, we have to look at why we are in the position that we're at. And I know you're going to sit there and think, well, what do you mean? This should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to set an interesting narrative, and I want you guys to follow along and tell me if I've gone insane. First, let's go back to the yesteryear of a year ago, where apparently Microsoft CEO Amy Hood set a absurd target of 30% profit for Xbox.
Oh my God.
which
remember
no
that, yeah.
industry can actually expect to really live up to.
Mhm.
Like that's which now Xbox has been losing this console generation to PlayStation. It's a third place. The as you've noticed, if you've been paying attention, things have gone weird pear-shaped in the last few months and this last year. Xbox consoles have increased in price when they're not selling as much as the PlayStation 5. The Game Pass has gone up in price.
Considerably.
That might explain why they were so rushed to try and increase their profit with this demand of a 30% profit margin.
I'd say so.
And when
I
you
mean,
increase
that's why they did it.
price of your console, you're going to sell less.
Yeah.
And when you increase the price of Game Pass, less people are going to subscribe to it. And when you're
I stopped my
already
Game Pass.
right, when you're already a third place player in this increases the downfall. Year over year, I believe console sales are down 32% for Xbox.
Oh, dear God.
Which is a huge, huge drop. People, you increase the price, you increase Game Pass, and people are pulling away from the console. This generation, the exclusives have not been great. Not for both consoles, but mostly Xbox.
Yeah, it's been worse for Xbox. I mean, it's almost to the point of non-existence. Not quite, but damn near.
Starfield had to have been a banger, and it wasn't.
No.
I mean, me and you were talking about it. It's like, like, you look at all these massive gaming brands that were huge bangers, where every game they came out with seemed to be great. And now it's like everything is a shadow of what it used to be.
Yeah.
And you look at Bethesda, it's like, Starfield is the best you could do? Really?
Yep. And to the point where it leaves one in question of how huge does Elder Scrolls 6 need to be?
Earth-shatteringly huge.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, if GTA 6 doesn't cure cancer, then it's going to be a failure.
Yeah, I mean, one wonders with all the hype it has and how long it's been since the last one. Can it? I mean, the entirety of GTA went from a single-player game that people play, a sandbox game, to this always multiplayer. I mean, it lives and dies off of its multiplayer now, of its online scene entirely. So, I mean, 13 years. Well, yeah, we're at 13 years now of online maturity compared to a brand new game. I mean, can it compete? I don't know.
Well, now Phil Spencer is out, and a lot of people have been asking questions because the situation seems a bit suspicious. Believe it or not, back in July of last year, Phil Spencer said he had no intention of retiring anytime soon. And then we hear on Friday that he retired. That he's leaving willingly of his own accord, and this has been planned for months, apparently.
Oh.
But his exit is also dragging with him Sarah Bond, who worked hand in hand with him to help rebuild Xbox from the downturn that the Xbox One had.
Yeah.
Why is she fleeing at the same time? On top of this, he is being replaced by Miss Sharma. Now, Miss Sharma, you might go, oh, interesting. She must know a lot about gaming. No. She is coming from the AI division of Microsoft.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
Asha Sharma was the core AI president for Microsoft. Now, that's curious. Let me set you on a little conversation we haven't brought up of recent events in Microsoft the past while, if you haven't been aware. Microsoft's had a bunch of drama recently.
Oh yeah.
Particularly in the form of Copilot. Microsoft has been reporting huge profits with its AI because it has been infecting every Windows computer with Copilot and putting it into every update. Because they want to show that AI, their Copilot AI, is being used everywhere on everything Microsoft does.
It's basically like when they released Edge.
Well, it's like saying that Internet Explorer was the most used platform when it was the only thing you could use, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the
It
problem
got
with,
used to go hit Firefox. And that was
the problem
it.
with Copilot is it created a lot of backdoor issues where it was allowing hackers to read people's confidential emails and stuff. There was a bunch of drama with how badly Copilot's integration has caused with Windows 11. Causing people
things
to go,
they said it couldn't do, like it couldn't access previous things that were confidential. Now, it turns out it could, and it was.
Which was absolutely doing.
Yeah.
And you might go, well, she must be a really good president, really good executive. That's why she's shifting over. The rumor, the speculation on the internet, which doesn't sound far-fetched, is they wanted to force AI integration into everything, including the Xbox architecture. And if you recall, in the last while, Xbox has been turning into less of a specific hardware platform, and it's becoming Xbox's subscription service multi-platform experience.
Yeah.
It's Xbox isn't supposed to just be located on your Series X at the moment. It's located on your console, on your ROG Ally, on your mobile, if that's where you get your stuff. And the belief is, behind the scenes, Spencer didn't seem to like that AI direction. And so he's leaving, and Sarah Bond, in solidarity, is going with him. And they're replacing him with Miss Sharma. And that seems to be the direction.
I mean, that's because it's so suspicious and it's so sudden. And what a strange change as far as the type of person that they want to take over.
Well, not only that, but with his own comments about not planning to leave anytime soon. I mean, this is a pretty big. I'm not planning to leave, and then tomorrow he's gone. That's. That's suspicious right there.
Well, he used to be the CEO of Xbox, and they changed his title to the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Which should tell you the multi-platform intentions of it being like the subscription model that accessed everywhere.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of, Rhett?
What's that?
You know that picture of Stalin where they kept editing everybody out of it that became unpersoned?
Uh-huh.
Xbox is being unpersoned now.
With the recent price increases and the Game Pass drama and Xbox, underselling everything and dumping, I mean, it looks like the sky is falling for Microsoft, for Xbox specifically at the moment. And whatever the reasoning is, though he fully announces that he is stepping down willingly as his plan for months, everybody's kind of going, well then why is Sarah leaving at the same time? And why did a few months ago you say you had no intention of retiring anytime soon? Yeah. And how come the dramatic price increases? Maybe you're getting off of the sinking ship before you get blamed for it.
Mm-hmm. At
this point.
Yeah. It almost smells a little bit. I mean, I don't think it is certainly an intention, but it almost smells like when Iger left Disney.
Yeah, just jump the ship and blame it on the next guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same intention, but it certainly feels like the same. I don't want this stink on me, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. This shakeup has been kind of earth-shattering for Xbox. People, See, here's the problem. When this happened, I was hearing from a lot of people. Well, Xbox has been dead for years. Xbox is a dead console, and this is just the nail in the coffin. Look, I understand Xbox is underselling PlayStation, but the people who say that sound more like PlayStation stands than anything else, because Xbox still exists, and I play it every day. Just like I have a PlayStation 5 and I play Xbox more. I'm not a stand for the console, but the console hasn't been dead. It's still around. It's just the first-party exclusives and the increase in price has slowed, if not trickled, the increase of players to that architecture. People tend to buy into the console that's winning, and everybody flocked to PlayStation. And it doesn't help that Xbox made decisions that discouraged people to purchase the console. I think the console, the Series X at the moment, is a great console. It's just underserved by the software available to it.
Yeah, I was going to say it. I mean, I don't know, Rhett. I mean, you also have experience with all of Xbox's consoles. I mean, I think, but as someone who's played from the original Xbox all the way till now, this might be hardware-wise their best console. It's a little bit big, but I mean, so is the original Xbox. But I mean, this has, like, feature-wise, hardware-wise, I mean, it's, knock on wood, it hasn't given me the problems that the original 360 gave me, like the white one. I mean, I went through I'm on my third. The original Xbox was great, but, it was new, and then the Xbox One had such a bad features at launch, at least. It got better, but... I mean, they were trying. I mean, they were clearly trying with this console as far as the hardware and, like, what they wanted it to do. I mean, it's so backwards compatible. It's shockingly backwards compatible.
More than the PS5.
Oh, by a country mile. Frankly, the only Sony consoles that was good at that was the PS2. That's it. I mean, because the PS3, like, the very first one was all right, but then all the subsequent ones, no. PS4, no. PS5, So, to say that it's a dead brand and it has been for years and years and years, like, I don't know. Like, it's certainly been the sick man.
Yeah.
The old sick man of Asia here, but...
Yeah.
By the way, FYI, the original, that fatty OG Xbox console notoriously had shock damage problems where if it dropped or took shock damage, it would bust pretty easily. That's why the controllers had that pull away feature, so if you yanked on the controller, it wouldn't pull the console off your table. It would pull the cables apart. That's why it existed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. I completely forgot about that. That's true.
That pull-away feature, yeah.
And the 360 hardware is the original one, the white console, was so busted that even when they try and I forget what they call it, but when they take the boards and get them, like, all the pathways, like resoldered, redone, like, they have machines just for that. But I was talking to a guy just today. We were out looking at, like, old game stores and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I used to have a machine for it. He's like, and I'd fix them. I'd bring them in. I'd use the machine. I'd fix the boards so it'd run good. They'd come back a year later with a problem. I'd do it again. They'd come back a month after that. And then that time, like, it just wouldn't work even after freshly getting done.
I mean, that's how... Fix.
Yeah, like, that's how busted the hardware was for the original 360. So, I think the Series X is the best one they've made yet, genuinely, hardware-wise. Like, that, as far as reliability and what it can do.
For its generation, yeah.
Yeah, but as we'll talk about, I'm sure, software has been the absolute weak point of this.
Well, why don't you start into the software issue?
Well, I mean, God, where to start? I mean, we talked about backwards compatibility, and it's great. I mean, it's a really wonderful feature. I'm glad to have it as someone who is not a collector, but I keep the stuff I buy for the most part, right? So from the time I was a kid to right now, I mean, I have all my stuff, all of my original Xbox games, 360, Xbox One. It's nice. It's nice to be able to put in a lot of my discs. I mean, not most, maybe not with the original Xbox, but a lot of them, most of the big games, from original Xbox all the way till now, and it can just play, and it plays pretty damn well. It's not busted or anything. It works good. That's a really nice feature. You cannot sustain not when we bought it, a $500 console for that kind of money. God forbid, what is it going for now? 6, 7,
6 or 650.
Yeah, you can't. Like that's a selling point. It is not a reason to get it. And on top of that, as I have lamented many times on this podcast, and probably way too much to you personally, everyone here personally, Xbox has completely fumbled its exclusives in every way you can imagine. I mean, the stuff that they homegrew. Let's say, Halo, Gears of War. They still have Forza. They still got that going for them, at least. They briefly had Mass Effect, although that changed after Mass Effect 2. Or after Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2 was then multi-plat. But they had all these great exclusives, and it was a huge seller. I mean, that and especially, people forget, but like Xbox Live itself was a huge thing back then. Like, yeah, you had to pay $5 a month for it, but it was a really well done, online capable console. And like, yeah, PS2 had online capabilities, but it wasn't as streamlined or easy as the original Xbox. And they had these exclusives that were amazing. I mean, look, Halo 3, the hype for that game sold the 360. But the wait for Halo 3, I mean, you had Gears of War. That's a huge game. You had Fable 2 after Halo 3. Big game. And the original Xbox survived because it had Xbox Live and Halo 2. And you still had some great exclusives in there, like Fable, like Forza near the end of its life. Like, it was a really great console because of that, because of the software that you felt like you were spending money on something. And yeah, there was the multiplats, but you were getting something that was... People, I mean, I almost wonder if people don't remember, like, the brands, like the console generations, like Microsoft's console had a different feeling, like a different vibe, a different look to it as far as what you could play on it. It was much more mature, much more frankly, kind of bro-y, right? Like there wasn't really JRPGs on the original Xbox, but there was on PS2. There's tons of them.
Right. Yeah.
And the GameCube was kind of the kiddies console. Like, that was the thing back then. It's kind of going away. I mean, Nintendo still has that for them, but other than hype beast reasons, is there that much difference between Sony and Xbox's consoles now? Really? No, because they all play the same games, with some minor exceptions as far as Sony's concerned. They at least have some exclusives. But by the time the Xbox One generation, which would be the 8th, I suppose, once that started going, really, all of Xbox's exclusives were really hurting. I mean, bad to dead. Gears of War were releasing games that people didn't really care that much. Like, mediocre. Halo, I mean, I won't get started on it, but trash, frankly. I mean, and I'm incredibly biased, but I think the proof is in the pudding. Do people talk about competitive Halo? No. Do people talk about, that sick multiplayer custom match we had? No. They don't talk about that. They'll talk about Battlefield 6. They don't talk about Halo Infinite. Why would they? It sucks. So, I think that's probably the great hurt. And unfortunately, I think it's a disease that has spread throughout from Microsoft to Sony, frankly. But that's a different topic, I suppose.
Well, it's one of those things where competition is always good for the consumer, because you have that competition will drive prices down, will drive innovation, and we as consumers, we all benefit because of it. I know a lot of people will forget that or will overlook it willfully in a lot of cases. But at the same time, it's one of those double-edged swords, because it also kind of hurts the consumer as well, because each of these companies is looking for exclusives to drive the sales of their consoles. But the consumers don't want the exclusives. They want universality with their games, because I don't want to have to go out and buy another console to get your exclusives.
And, there was a time, I'm sure we'll remember, that as the generation went along, consoles got cheaper. They might even come out with a cheaper version of it, a simplified version. It's now the opposite. I mean, the 8th generation had that. And, to be fair, part of it was like we're putting better hardware in this.
Right.
But, I mean, the Series X that's on the shelf right now, that's $150 more than when I paid for it, it's the same console. Like, that's not good. That's not healthy. And we're seeing console generations where the consoles get more expensive as they go along, rather than cheapening themselves to try and further expand the user base. I mean, and I guess I did forget one thing with software. Hey, everybody, remember how much Microsoft's been buying? I mean, Activision and Blizzard, Bethesda, like, huge names. And I'm sure they were really banking on Starfield being a big old hit. And goddamn, was it not.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like to address the cultural shift, too. I know,
Yes.
depending on what kind of political spectrum you lean into, you're going to roll your eyes. Oh, they're talking about woke stuff. It's important to address the fact that there was a widespread cultural shift, and I'm not talking just about content. Internal corporate shift towards things like hiring practices and sensitivity, and the hard push for inclusivity and diversity and all these sorts of things, from employees to management and up and down. Now you might go, well, what does this really have to do with Microsoft? Well, that shift occurred during Microsoft decline. Now you might roll your eyes at that, but let me point out that for the longest time, Xbox was considered like the dude bro brand.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
edgy.
definitely.
It was, I'm going to blow my friend's face off. It was the Gears of War. It was the Halo. It was cool. They were doing cool stuff. It's explosions. It was rock and roll. Xbox was meant to be that sort of thing. And there was an internal shift. I want to say somebody on the inside, some higher up, referenced that they were pleased that they were shifting away from the dude bro culture. I know there was a reporter at IGN who made all of these comments about how she was so pleased that the culture around Xbox had changed, and it was no longer this college bro sort of culture. And Phil Spencer responded with, well, we have a lot more to go, a lot more work to do. And it's like, these were the people who were propping up your brand, that were pushing everything. And the idea that you can simply shift the culture around your brand and have it survive. It's so confusing to me when they chase audiences that aren't the ones giving them money. Or chase political status that aren't the ones that are giving them money. And, and then when they don't give you money and then you're not successful, it's like, well, what happened? I'm confused. I'm looking around. Where's all that money go? You knew these people were especially in gaming, when it's by and large a male-dominated entertainment. It just is. Every girl that's ever existed playing a video game knows that she is like 1 out of 10 or more.
Nobody here would know anything about that.
Silver.
Well, kaiju monsters are in a completely different category.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
One of the things, so I understand chasing the almighty dollar as a motivation for doing things. I understand that businesses are motivated by that incentive. If there is a dollar out there that they think they can get, sure, they're going to chase after it. The problem the thing that makes this chasing of the almighty dollar problematic is that they weren't saying, look, you guys are loyal customers. You will always be our loyal customers, and we're gonna dude bro this up as as much as we can because we appreciate your dollars. That they decided to change course and just expected the dude bros to be like, yeah, we're totally on board with this. And that's never been the case with anything that has tried to shift like this. Harley Davidson is a big one. They took a massive hit because they tried to focus on something that wasn't their core demographic. It's fine if you want to try to bring in outsiders, but at the same time, you cannot take for granted your loyal customers, the ones that got you there in the first place. You have to cater to them because they're the ones that are going to be propping you up, even as you're chasing this other revenue stream.
Well,
You
and I
have to
think
be able to either say, yes, we're going to focus on our core demographic and we're always going to focus on that core demographic and screw everybody else. Or you have to say, we will focus on them. We will do as much as we can to make sure that they are happy. And at the same time, we're going to widen our base without offending our core.
well,
But nobody does that.
I think the reputation of Xbox was always from outsiders who had intentions on changing the culture,
Yeah.
thought of Xbox as a toxically masculine place.
Right.
Yeah. If any console was going to be in a frat house, it would be an Xbox.
It would be an Xbox. And they viewed it that way. And you can sit here and poo-poo it, but there was a deliberate intention to go after male-dominated spaces and change the culture.
Yeah.
A deliberate intention. I'm not talking conspiracy. They were purposely trying to change the culture around male-dominated spaces because it was deemed toxic and awful. And Xbox sat at the center of that. And it cannot be understated that as the culture shifted towards this more DEI-sensitive era, you could see Xbox shift in that direction. A lot of the criticism of people playing Halo Infinity and confusing like Pride Month skins for your Spartan character, and it's like, you think this is going to bring in the college frat boys?
Oh yeah.
You
They
think
love
they're
it,
going to
dude.
flock
You're
to
gonna make your
compete and
demographic leave.
shoot each other with shotgun shells in the face? And do you think that this is going to help encourage Xbox brand to be more successful? Is this the good direction to go? Now, I actually, for the most part, consider Phil Spencer to be a positive on the brand, but he also resided over this massive decline. Now it might have something to do with how much control did he have over that. But now that we're addressing our new individual, Miss Sharma, you might have questions of like, well, what does she intend to do, yada, yada, yada. And there were a lot of concerns coming from her because she's so heavily involved in AI that people are afraid that you're going to see a lot of AI influence in the Xbox brand from her. Now, overtly, she has actually said, we're going to respect games as an art form. We're going to keep AI out of it. That they want to focus on great games. They have no tolerance for bad AI. All of these sort of buzzwords to make everybody sound like she's going to respect the brand and yada, 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 when she's not an Xbox insider. Because everybody was expecting Miss Bond to actually take over.
Sure. Yeah.
That was sort of the expectation. And she left along with Phil. So now that Sharma's here, it's like, well, we need to focus on stuff. She even talked about gaming as a whole, and she's like, well, I've got a lot to learn. And it's like, well, maybe put someone in charge that doesn't have to learn gaming. Maybe that's the best decision to make. But then, Ross, I'm going to point out that she's had contradictory quotes.
Really?
Yeah. There's previous quotes people found of her saying, we need to discourage the phrasing of AI slop. because it sounds too negative.
She did
well,
say in there
yeah.
that we are going to be intolerant of bad AI, which to me doesn't say we're intolerant of all AI, just bad AI. So good AI will be promoted.
Yeah,
So it
which
gives her some
who
wiggle
defines
room to
that?
say, no, this is good AI. It's
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
okay, guys.
Well,
She
sure.
has the final say on what's good.
Even just reading
Yeah.
between the lines, I'm saying she actually actively said we need to discourage people from saying AI slob
Which, yeah,
because it has
it sounds
negative
bad because it's supposed
connotations.
to. Yeah.
Well, this was
Uh-huh.
like that article we talked about last week where they were talking about friend slop.
Yeah.
You know, it was like we need to change change people's perception on this stuff. That it's not as bad as all that. It's like, well, it may be fun, but it still may be bad.
Well, and she's quoted as, "I have a lot to learn."
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
again, that's another thing that's a red flag there. It's like you're wanting the CEO to come in and to be able to really hit the ground running. You don't want there to really be a learning curve here. You don't really want to have somebody that's not experienced at least a little bit in your industry to come in, because you've got too much to do with that person to get them up to speed on all the stuff they need to know. If they at least had a little bit of experience in the industry, that learning curve, that training arc would be much reduced, and they'd be able to be more effective in their role a lot faster.
Well, and it is very telling that the person that would theoretically be the heir apparent walked out with Phil.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that them, like that's
That doesn't
like
tell me left willingly.
no, or left willingly because what's coming down the pipeline is horrific.
Yeah, that he got out because he
Yeah.
disagreed with the direction that they were headed.
Yeah, and she agreed.
Yeah, she's
But
going to
why-
head up because Xbox is making a big AI push, and they're putting the AI girl in charge of Microsoft making a big AI push.
Yeah,
They're putting
why
the AI
on
girl in
earth would
charge
you
of
put
Xbox.
her? Yeah, why on earth would you choose her as the successor
Oh,
if you
wow.
don't want to go in that direction?
Exactly.
It smacks of you don't have to have outright news to see that the waves are moving in one direction.
And it's like you said about the Xbox One, right? The 8th gen console. Like, Microsoft was early to the game, but the always online, all the listening to you, all that stuff. And yet, I mean, they were like everyone's doing it now, but they were there early, and it's like they're just doing the same thing again. Like, let's be real. Like, Sony will probably be doing this in 5 to 10 years, but Microsoft will be there first, and part of it's because they are heavily invested in AI. As they gotta. Wasn't it Microsoft that said they got to find something useful for AI to do because they've spent so much money into it?
Well, see, that's another question too, because I've seen some other reports that are actually quite fascinating. Because as we're talking about AI and the influence that AI might have on the gaming community, after AI's shown up and a lot of money has been poured into it, and there's been a lot of excitement, and I'm not saying it's not going to transform things, but they went and did heavy questioning over a lot of CEOs across industries, and they found it was something like 80% of CEOs that it said it had almost no appreciable difference on their productivity.
Oh my god! Oh no!
Yeah.
Well,
That's shocking.
so I have some anecdotes about AI and people working with it, because I've been asking for my industry about how people are seeing it in the wild, if you will. And one of the stories is that one of the companies that we were talking to, they had to roll back like 3 days worth of work because of a bug that AI put into their code.
Oh, good lord. Yeah.
And so what we've kind of the consensus that we've kind of come to with a lot of things is that as long as you are asking the AI to do very small, very highly defined tasks, it can help you. But when you're trying to get it to do something big, then it's more trouble than it's worth.
Mm.
And so I can totally see this. We're not really speeding up all that much because we're only having it do small, simple tasks.
Well, sure. And I think my point being, for the moment, it seems like there's a huge inflation on AI, a bubble, if
Yeah.
you will, and that the expectation is this is going to flood everything forward. And for the moment, it actually hasn't had a great appreciable difference when
Yeah.
it comes to workflow and improving, efficiency and that sort of thing. Not to say it won't in the future, but at the moment, it really hasn't resulted in dividends that everybody expected it would. But when you have somebody like
Not mature
Microsoft
enough yet.
spending likely billions on this,
Yeah.
they're going to double down. And for some reason, Microsoft seems to intend on being the first person over the wall, and the first person over the wall is always the one that gets blood.
You can't, with something like AI, you can't really do the whole, you know what, never mind. We're going to scrap it and go a different direction.
Well, sure. I'm just saying it doesn't work now, but it might
No.
work later.
Yeah.
Right.
So the problem with AI is because it's evolving so quickly. You could have people saying, "Well, we found now it's just kind of shitty, and it's not." It's like now, right
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
it is, but it's evolving so quickly. It's like who knows where we're going to be a month from now.
Hmm.
I mean, things are evolving rapidly, but for the moment, results haven't been coming in. And the reason why I bring this up, not to get off our topic, is Microsoft's doubling down on this and seems intent on shoving it through all of its systems. Windows
Yeah.
11 being one of the most infected. And if it's shoving it into the gaming industry and has intentions on it being a participant player in the Xbox architecture, whatever that looks like down the road, Phil Spencer might be bailing because he had disagreements in that. One of the big problems we've seen in the industry over and over and over again. The biggest lesson we got from the Xbox One. Hey, this is going to be the home entertainment center where everything goes through it and you can plug in your television and you can do screen and screen. And it didn't work. And what was Phil Spencer's biggest message? Yeah, we're going to focus on the games. We're going to focus on the games and the fun. And that's really the most important message, because when they get off message, when they start to focus on anything but video games, people lose interest and they start to bail. And every time they want to turn this into more than just the gaming console, it never usually works.
No, not really.
And that was the lesson from Xbox One. And now we're turning into this Xbox experience with Game Pass everywhere. It's going to be on all the hardware you use. Your phone and your ROG Ally and your PC and whatever Xbox proprietary, even if it exists next gen, at this point.
Yeah, there's rumor that it will work with like the Steam OS even. Like, yeah, it's like, or have Steam Store access. Like, it's really bad. Like, there's a lot of rumor right now. And
Well,
clearly,
what's the difference then between an
Xbox is trying to
Xbox
shed
and a PC?
they're trying to shed the Xbox carapace.
Yes. That's why Phil is called Microsoft Gaming CEO.
Yeah.
Or was.
Uh-huh.
I mean, remember when they were trying to push Microsoft had the whole gaming set up on PC and how well that went? What do they call it? Windows Gaming or whatever stupid thing it was?
Yeah. You can even still see it on weirdly enough 360 games because they like it will work with Windows. What was it, Windows Play?
Yeah, whatever it was
Um,
called.
Something like that. Yeah, where it's like, yeah, you can play with people from Xbox Live on Windows. They're trying to connect them.
Now everything has had to shift to the whole, Game Pass. And Game Pass was apparently Phil Spencer's idea. Which is great,
Yeah.
despite the increase in price now and all these other
Yeah.
things. Which also sparked a bigger discussion. Look, I'm not going to declare or act prescient when it comes to the future of Xbox. Is it going to go away? Probably not. But everybody decrying the end of Xbox is nigh. These haven't been good signs. These haven't been a good direction. The increase in price, the dropping of sales. I mean, from an outside observer, just looking at the list of stuff going on, you might think that Titanic is going down. Does this make anyone confident in the future of Xbox or the future of the hardware or where things are going? Is Xbox just going to be another... It'll be like subscribing to Ubisoft or whatever. You're just going to get your Xbox subscription on your PlayStation console.
Yeah.
It's like I said a little bit before. What's the difference between an Xbox and just a PC? It feels like they're going in that direction where it's just like you'll have the Xbox experience. I mean, you already have an Xbox app on your PC. I don't see why they won't just continue in that direction.
Well, I might clarify it's going the other direction. Because the way they describe it, they want Windows to be everywhere.
Right.
The ROG Ally is working off of a Windows architecture. They want to bring Windows into everything and have hybrids. No longer,
I just meant
no longer gaming exclusive.
Xbox will no longer be a console. It could just be an app that you turn on your Windows PC.
The thing is, I don't want to predict that. That seems a possibility, but in all likelihood, we're going to see a console down the road. But it's like, look at it this way. You have cloud gaming now. For all we know, we're just going to have a streaming box with cloud gaming. But they are going to sell another Xbox console. Whether or not that's the last one is everybody's guess.
Right.
I think too many people try and predict the future and end up getting it slightly wrong. I'm talking about the direction we're headed, and the health of Xbox is poor. And the confidence of the people who have invested in these consoles, invested in this brand, I'm not a shill, really. I have fondness for the consoles that I bought before. But in reality, if I look back of how Xbox has treated me as a consumer, I mean, the 360 was poorly built. The Xbox One took me for granted and no backwards compatibility. And then they can't produce first-party decent stuff for the life of me. And this has come from someone who's been around to see a few generations. If you're young and you've just been living with Xbox, and you're in your teens, as far as you know, Phil Spencer's always been the president of Xbox.
Yeah.
Forever. And this brought up a big question of, what is happening in the industry as a whole? Because a lot of us has been looking at numbers and being like, wow, the PlayStation 5 has been selling amazingly. The Nintendo Switch 2 has been selling amazingly. Gaming has never been healthier. Is that true?
Makes so much money.
What?
Is it true? I mean, let's readdress the brand problem.
It doesn't seem that way to me.
Let's readdress the brand problem. Ubisoft, massive problems. They're going through currently huge layoffs, which has sparked a strike at Ubisoft.
And they got bought out by Tencent, wasn't it?
Well, I'm talking about now, Jason. They are laying people off now. Today.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not talking about
I'm
the
just
history
saying
of
it's
Ubisoft.
not a good track record when you get bought out by another company and then on top of that you are now laying off a lot of your people. That doesn't say healthy to me.
They have strikes going on. Activision isn't what it like. We had an okay Call of Duty, followed by a really bad Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Blizzard, like one of the most dominant. Like we're talking about dominant brands in the gaming industry. Where's Blizzard going at the moment? What is still being propped up by the last MMO standing? Is that where we're going?
Yep, there will always be World of Warcraft. But can we change it from Warcraft to something else? Also, we're going to make a Diablo 2 Remastered 2. We're going to do that in another 10 years.
And I don't want to use the news dump, but there is a quote from one of the heads in Blizzard saying that she regrets that they called it Warcraft because it sounds too aggressive.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure a founding member of Blizzard, surely. Uh-huh.
How's Bethesda doing?
Well, Starfield did really badly, and now it's like everything they say, like since then, like whatever it's Todd Howard or Emil Pagliarulo, like it sounds a little bit scared, to be frank with you, or Cope.
How about Bungie?
So, well, are they on their 4th or 5th plagiarism scandal? And people are still mad about Destiny 2. And on top of that, they're going to release a game called Marathon that, when they tried to do this last year, didn't do very well. And there's shills talking about it, but for all intents and purposes, people think it's going to be Concord 3.
Square Enix, the recent Final Fantasy Rebirth, did not sell super well.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Things are going great for Square Enix. Oh, and 16 underperformed their expectations.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that they're not in a big hurry to get it on PS5 either, a 14 on PS5 either. Like it's in beta.
It's in beta. It still isn't a full release on PS5. Oh, by the
way,
that is crazy.
It wasn't, once again, where I'm addressing news. Well, this was in this section. But, what was it? Last year, PlayStation 5 users have finally surpassed PlayStation 4 users.
Oh my god. And the PS5 came out in 2020?
Yeah.
Oh,
there are still so many PS4 users that people who are actively still playing PS4 are getting messages from Sony encouraging them to upgrade to the new console.
Oh,
that's
wow.
hilarious.
That is creepy as hell.
And you might go, well, Sony's doing great. This has been a long generation. We're looking forward to a new console coming soon. The rumor behind the scenes is that we're probably not going to see a PS6 until 2028 or 2029.
Oh, my God.
That we're going to be sitting on this gen for quite some time. And you might go, well, why is that? The extremely high-priced RAM. That's why. That and justify the sale of a new console when prices for RAM are skyrocketing. We still have issues with GPU pricing. A lot of manufacturing for GPUs is declining in certain places. Oh, well, PC gaming is growing. Not with the price of RAM.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck building your own PC, building a gaming PC at this stage. I mean, look at the state of gaming as a whole. Well, PS5, sales are strong. Yeah, and this is going to be a long generation. We're going to be sitting on these things for a while. The way it looks it. I mean, justify selling new hardware at exorbitant prices. With tariffs.
What's the PS5 Pro cost?
Yeah. Was it $700?
Yeah, which is buku.
Stuff's getting more expensive. I mean, how many brands can you think of that are really healthy right now? Naughty Dog had the abysmal failure that was the second Last of Us.
Last of Us 2.
Yeah. And Neil Druckmann puts out an advertisement for a new one with Asian bald lesbian chick, and the reception was really bad, and he got all butthurt about it.
Yeah. They do have the distinction, though, of pissing off a fan base both in the video game space and television. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, they do.
Succeeded in angering people a second time by expressing the fact that they hate Neil Druckmann and his ability to write stories. How well did the last Borderlands do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
not
even know
great.
if it sold well, but there was a lot of anger.
I'm thinking that it kind of peaked around 2. I don't think 3 sold as well as 2, and I'd have to double check on this. But 4 definitely didn't do as well as 3. So
What big brands that everything was propped up by in the last while are doing any good? Alan Wake 2 sucked.
Yeah.
Remedy,
Yeah,
the
they
one
had
company I
problems.
believed in. Never believe in anything, kids, because they will always disappoint you.
Space Marine 2 was well received.
Well received critically.
Yeah.
I think it sold pretty well, but to remind you, Space Marine 1 didn't sell well.
Right.
Yeah. It was a shock when Space Marine 2 was announced, I remember.
Because all of us was like, I thought this was dead.
Yeah. Because people confused it with a Gears of War clone from the trailers and such.
We get to see a Titanfall anytime?
No, but you might see a extra Apex characters even more. They're probably going to be even gayer.
What was the last great game you played?
That was new? Oh
Yeah.
God.
Not a remake.
Right. Not a remake and new. Not a game that's like 5 years old. Let me think.
Silk Song.
Yeah. I mean that's probably yeah.
See, that's a really good example. We're going to get there, Silver.
Okay.
Yeah. I mind like Battlefield 6 and it's like, but was it great? No. It wasn't great. It was fine.
I'd
As
rather
far
go
as
back
new
and
games that came out last year.
play Battlefield 1.
Yeah. Battlefield 1 rules. Will always
I
rule.
really
Still
haven't
looks
been
great to this
buying
day.
anything new recently.
Jason, you
Does-
don't play new games.
Well, I bought Borderlands 2 new when it came out, and I bought Borderlands 3 new when it came out.
Jason, saying I play new games and pointing to a game
No.
that's years old is not a playing new games.
He's saying he
No,
didn't
what-
buy. He didn't buy Borderlands 4 though.
No, I didn't.
Yep. My point is, you don't play new
My-
games. You're just like, well, I bought Borderlands 2 new. How old is Borderlands 2?
I don't usually buy new games. I have bought new games. The thing is that there really hasn't been anything new that I've wanted to play. I didn't want to play Borderlands 4. That's for sure.
I mean, how is the... I play new stuff constantly because it's on Game Pass. Constantly.
I played Sea of Stars when it came out new because of Game Pass, and I enjoyed that. That was really nice game. I played Cosmic Invasion when that came out. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I know what good game I played last year that was brand new. Red
What's that?
Power Wash Simulator 2.
Yeah.
100% of the Chiefs. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, here's the pattern. Non AAA.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ross sent me an interesting video recently. Why don't you talk about that, Ross?
Oh, yeah. From Bellular News, I suppose. Basically, gentleman's talking about kind of buying habits of gamers and video game market stuff. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, Red. I'm sorry, but basically, like, what was it, 4% of the market buys like multiple games in a year, multiple brand new games.
Wow.
Whereas like most maybe do one a month, maybe but like even then it's like one or two a year for most people.
I was going to ask a little bit about that. I was going to say, how much do you think some of um, the crisis that we're having in the video game industry is due to the fact that I can't really afford to spend a lot of time playing new games.
This is
Yeah.
well, the problem with doing analysis in that direction is as you get older, your time becomes more limited. So it's a factor that's
Yeah.
more of a you rather than
Well, the
a
thing is
general consumer.
Well, the thing is that I understand that, but the fact that people as a whole have a finite amount of time, finite amount of resources to buy new games, but yet the industry seems to be geared around the fact that if I put out a new game, you all need to buy it, regardless of whether or not you would be able to put any time or effort into actually playing it. And so it just feels to me like there's a huge disconnect between the industry itself and the market that they're chasing for the
I
fact that
don't. Yeah, I don't see the connection there. And any company is going to put out a lot of products to try and compete for your attention, and they're
Sure.
just going to fail or succeed. The problem isn't a glut of too many games and you only have enough attention for the glut of too many games. Statistically, based upon the video that Ross sent me, is they are selling more games than ever before, and people are spending less.
okay,
It's not too many games and you don't have enough time. They're spending more money. Just they're spending less on the games they buy. And most of the games that are succeeding are not the full priced $70, $80 games. They're the indie stuff
Right.
that people are buying or stuff on sale.
so that
Yeah.
does tell me that the consumer is looking to maximize their dollar because they're going after sales. They're going after indie games that cost less than those AAA games. So it is a resource. There is a resource component to the problem, but we've said that before, that these games are getting more expensive, and it seems that they're blowing their entire budget, banking on the fact that they'll get this huge return on their investment that's just not coming.
Once again, to reiterate, AAA gaming.
Yeah.
People are buying a lot of games. Just not
Yeah.
$60, $70, $80 games.
Yeah, I mean, he mentions how like there's some like Rockstar was almost immediately try to distance themselves, and this video is like what 2 months old now, but from the $80 price point, they were like, no, I wouldn't worry about that. And then, but then you had Nintendo going like, yeah, it's $80 for Mario Kart, pal, tough shit. And the reality is like, yeah, yes. A lot like Mario Kart was bundled in with a lot of Switches, but not everybody bought that version of the Switch or the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Some people bought the Switch 2 and the game, or they bought a version that was bundled with something else and bought Mario Kart. Like,
Well, and,
it's just
and like any economic model, it comes down to cost versus value. People
Right.
valued Mario Kart at $80.
Mm.
That's why it sold well.
Yeah.
People look at a lot of AAA games, especially when you have your Call of Duties that have a poor track record of success, and they go,
Yeah.
that's not worth $70, $80.
I was gonna say, because he kind of mentions how I don't know, he briefly like brushes up against it, but he more focuses on like the economics of it, and it's super a thing, right? Like, you know, economy, blah 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 blah. But I think there's also a simple reality of like when you burn people with, you know, inconsistent quality of, especially of yearly released games, whether it's, you know, sports games or shooters or whatever, like eventually people are going to be like, man, that last one really burned me. I don't know. Like, I mean, even though I wasn't pissed off about buying Battlefield 6, I mean, if you ask me, well, are you going to buy the next one at launch? The answer is no. Not a chance.
But we have Silk Song, and it's worth $40, isn't it? I think it's like $40.
That sounds
I
right.
don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah. it's worth the $40 to people. It sold well.
Yeah.
It's not a full price
Yep.
game.
No. In fact, I think it's even less than it's $20.
There you go. I don't think Expedition 33 was a full mega price game.
Not modern full price. No, let me double check though, because I'm on that Game Pass love. So, Expedition 33 price. Sorry, folks.
No
Forgive
excuses. Ross,
Yeah,
this
it's
is-
$50.
There.
So it's full price in about 1998. But
Yeah, I don't want to be
Not today.
reductive and try and reduce everything to, well, maybe it's the economy and people have less money to spend and they're just not going to spend as much. Like any problem, it's more complicated than simply one thing, and it's probably a lot of
Yeah.
different factors. But if you, like, superficially, oh, PlayStation 5 sales have been amazing. Practically half of all PlayStation users are still in PS4 and not upgrading to PS5.
yeah, and it's funny. I just saw a stat where it's like, yeah, PS5 is tracking just a little bit behind the PS4 in a similar point in its lifespan. And then you go and look at PS4 sales as of 2022, which is well after its life cycle, theoretically, right? Well, it's now at 120 million, whereas PS5 right now is at 92 something. And it's like, oh, so like PS4 is still sold after the PS5 was a thing.
Yeah. What moves consoles
Like-
exclusives?
Mm-hmm.
And if there's not enough exclusives to justify the purchase of the console, and all the games you want to play are still on PS4, why would you?
Yeah, why
Why
would
do
you
you have
upgrade?
to upgrade? People make
Yeah.
rational decisions with their own money for the most part.
Yes. Yeah. They try to.
And I'm looking down the road, and I'm starting to see all of these ticks. All these major brands that were dominant, devastatingly dominant in the gaming sphere, and you're like, what's happening to them? Xbox is shaking itself apart. They have a complete exodus of two of the biggest and most influential people in the last decade. And we bring in a new person that doesn't know anything about gaming, who comes from their AI division. Xbox prices have gone up. Game Pass prices have gone up. People are declaring the console's dead at this point. Kotaku had an article declaring it dead. We're looking at
Yeah.
PlayStation, and half are still in PS4. We're looking at Nintendo and the new console, despite people saying that it's selling really well. The games aren't even on the discs, on the little cartridges.
Right.
Yeah. You get a cartridge in there, and it's like, yeah, you still got to download the rest of it on there. It's only like half or a third of the game. Sorry, pal.
And even if the numbers are there, I question the health of the gaming industry right now.
Yeah.
Overall,
Yeah.
I mean, I have serious questions about the health of the gaming industry, and especially when
I
it comes to
mentioned this to you,
AAA
Rhett.
gaming.
Yeah. I mentioned this to you. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of how Hollywood, years ago now, but not that long ago. Well, look at all this money we're making, billions of dollars per movie. This is amazing. But then you look at it, and it's like they're selling less tickets.
Yeah,
They're selling. They're
Just at a
getting
higher
big money
price.
from less people.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that healthy? I don't know. I mean, yes, obviously there are certain luxury things, right? Like Jaguars, Rolex, blah 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 blah. But like, are movies that? I don't think they should be. It seems to be against the model that they were previously. So, it makes you. It makes me wonder if there's a bit of that going on as well. I always am weary of some of the numbers that get tossed around by look at how many millions of consoles we've sold. I'm always, because wasn't it the Virtual Boy that they claimed how many units they sold, and that included Blockbuster versions that were rented out. It's like, well, that's not really honest, is it?
No.
So I don't know. It always makes me wonder. Like, I don't know. It's just my own conspiratorial mind, maybe. But
And I actually played the Virtual Boy.
I'm sorry.
Most people
Did you get a
hadn't seen-
headache?
Well, I didn't own it. And most people I know had never seen one, and I knew my cousin had a friend who owned one, and I played a bunch of it. It is awkward to
fun.
use.
Oh, did you have to
Yeah.
sit awkwardly on a table that was too low, or
Well, because the stand
Did you
doesn't
just lay
sit
down
too
with it
high.
on your
I actually
face?
laid on my stomach with my head like angled up. That's how I played it.
surely the intended way to play it by Nintendo? I'm sure their engineers imagined that.
Hours of neck
Yeah.
pain.
Hopefully, they don't sue us.
Well, and here's I'm going to bring up some other weird indicators in the market that might make you, well, you know, everything's doing great. Something notified by Friendo Ross in the last, let's see, Black Friday,
Mm.
Amazon's streaming console outsold the PS5.
Ugh. Oh, that's not a good sign.
That's right. A console nobody really has thought of or heard of outsold the PS5. It's like an Ouya.
Yeah, that's-
It streams.
Yeah, it's like an Ouya mixed with a Kinect, or like it has a little camera and yeah.
And you might go, what on the earth are you talking about? This outsold the PS5.
It's got Bluey on it and Fruit Ninja.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
console for
Mike.
silver right there. She's
Yeah,
young enough that she can understand a lot of Bluey now.
Guys, there's
Aw.
Skippy Toilet on here.
Oh my God, no.
Well, and here's where we're not involved in the game industry at the high ups. We're just semi-intelligent morons. Looking at the tea leaves and going, these things ain't looking good, you guys. And I'm starting to ask myself, if all of these indicators look to me like a sick industry, maybe I'm insane. But if all of this looks to me like a sick industry, that at its core there are problems going on and no one's overtly admitting that that's what's happening, that they're all just going to pretend that the industry is not shaking itself apart because of problems, then the solution is what? Exactly.
That is a good question.
I mean, obviously, the traditionalist in me, right, would be like, well, you need good exclusive software for these consoles, something that drives people to buy it.
Yeah.
But obviously, they're having issues there.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah,
Hey, we'll come out with a
exactly.
new Halo game. Doesn't do well. How about a
Yeah.
new Gears of War? Oh, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, please God, EA, be good. I beg you.
You know, they're never going to do this. But I would say that they need to do an about face on a couple of things. One, the price on both the console and on the Game Pass. And they really need to go back to the drawing board with their game development. They really need to say, okay, let's go back to formula. Let's go back at what made Halo the game that everybody was trying to come up with the Halo killer for.
This is how you get Green Goblin.
What was
but-
that? And they need to start building from there. But like I said, I don't think any of them will do that.
Well,
I
it's
think
also
there's just-
easier said than done. It's just make better game.
True,
And
true.
it's like if they could make better game, they'd make better game.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And the thing is, you mentioned leading up to this that people talking about, well, no, but the numbers are so good, and it's like, yeah, for now, because then when you scratch underneath the surface, and you're like, well, Xbox basically has no exclusives, and Sony has 2, right? They have barely any, and in fact. It's funny, the game that's got the most interest and the most press and got the biggest splash for Sony was Helldivers 2, and it's on PC. So it's like, what? And we're getting to the point now in this industry where you can still kind of call it an exclusive. It's if it's on the console and PC.
Yeah.
Like that's not considered like. Whereas back in the day, like there was PC versions of Halo 1 and 2 that came out like a year and a half or 2 years after the game had launched, not concurrently. And we're the industry console wise is so sick that they're doing that they're just counting. It's an exclusive. It's not on the other console. Oh, okay. I mean, but I could just get it on PC. Like, no, never mind.
And it almost feels like Xbox would prefer you to just move over to PC and then not have to make hardware anymore.
Well, and that's the funny thing. I was thinking about this as we were talking. It's for years people would just go like the PC master race, if you will. Would just go like, we'll just play it on PC. It's better anyway. But you don't have, like, yeah, you spend more, but you can do so much more. You can mod, there's so many other games. There's kinds of games that you can't get on console, blah, blah, blah. Well, number one, that gap is narrowing now. Not the modding part, but there's so many more games now on console there's so many RTSs you can play, and then like even 4X games on console, but whatever.
There are games on console you'll never get to play on PC. That'll never get ported.
Right. Yeah, and that was the big selling point. And I think more and more people are starting to go that way, except the two things hit the PC market really badly. And that is COVID with the huge GPU issues, like with getting bought up to be used for crypto mining. Yeah. It just completely, and now the RAM thing. It's completely and that's shocked the whole industry, that one in particular. But, gaming on console and PC. But there probably would have been this huge migration over to PC, whether it was immediate or more gradual, whatever. But those two things, I think, really, things were just starting to get back to normal with GPUs, and now we got hit with this RAM stuff. Like neither one is safe. And not to get off topic, but now we're having this rumblings, rumors of kind of wanting to get away from personal computing anyway. So it's like, is that going to last for very much longer? Who knows? Whole thing's up in the air.
Well, and the fact that, this probably opens up a can of worms we don't really need to address, but there's oftentimes in industry, they try and social engineer consumer habits, and they don't know how to predict things better than anybody else does.
No.
Well, we want our consumers to move to PC, and people still are on the stinking console, and they're like, we don't get it. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
So is it the end of Xbox again?
Again, yeah.
Like we've been saying, this doesn't look healthy for Xbox, and I can definitely see that unless they really look at what they're doing and maybe reverse course on a few things. But I don't think they want to reverse course, and two, I think that it just kind of seems like that was their plan to begin with. So I don't think that they are going to reverse course. I think it's just kind of they're like you said, they're hoping that people will just move over.
We and this statement's been made on this podcast before, but I would be shocked if there isn't one more Xbox console. Because by this point in the life cycle of this generation, they've already begun planning in some form or fashion the next one, right? They do it pretty quickly after the launch of the first one. That's just generally how it goes. So there's probably going to be one more. I would be very surprised if there's one after that. If there's an 11th generation Xbox console, I would be very, very surprised.
Yeah, I agree. Silver, what do you think about all this? How do you feel?
I would not be surprised if everything goes to PC, honestly. I could totally see it happening. It was just, let's abandon all consoles. I could see it happening with PlayStation, Xbox especially. It's just, I don't know, something about, it's got to be like the not making the hardware themselves thing, like you talked about. I could see them going over.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is this is Nintendo's gig. Although, I mean, there could be some major changes where they're like, fine, we're just selling you the Nintendo app and you can get it on PC. That could happen, I guess. But with Sony, I mean, isn't PlayStation kind of their do or die? It's not like their movie division makes money.
Their movie
really.
division does not make money. Their TVs are okay, but their lunch is being eaten by a bunch of Chinese companies like Huawei and LG.
Yeah, I was going to say that they're not talked about anymore like they used to be, though.
No.
True. That's one thing that did occur to me as we were talking, that this really has been Nintendo's niche, if you will. I can't remember how many times I've heard in the past that during the console war, when it really started, people were thinking, okay, I'm going to buy the Nintendo, and now I'm going to buy one more console. Is it going to be Xbox or is it going to be PlayStation? It wasn't there's three choices. I'm going to get one. It was, there's two choices. I have to have the Nintendo. Now I'm going to make my choice between the Xbox and the PlayStation. And it's still, to this day, the same thing. People are like, well, I'm going to get my Switch. Now am I going to get a PlayStation or am I going to get an Xbox?
Yeah, and and you know, I have said on this podcast, and I will I'm probably going to eat my lunch on this. Like I think I'm going to eat my words, but I've said, look, if you want the only one keeping up the old school like console gaming mindset was Nintendo, and that I was like they are probably going to be the last bastions, and then they started pulling all this like nasty bullshit with Switch 2.
Yep.
I mean, Rhett, you and I have talked about like today that Virtual Boy edition that they have, and then you have to get like I don't think it's included in the Nintendo Play thing. I think it's a separate like add-on charge for it. I think for the Virtual Boy games, and it's not even all the Virtual Boy games, which is insanity. There's only 13 of them. But no, you only get 7. You don't even get Mario Tennis, the game that they use to adjust the Virtual Boy to your eye. You don't even get to play that game on this new. Like it's just like slapdash, half-assed, like greedy bullshit. And it's like, well, Nintendo's going down a path. It really sucks.
Well,
I don't know.
Nintendo's always been kind of crappy when it comes to being protective and trying to force you to do things. Like,
Very true.
Oh yeah.
If you subscribe to the Nintendo subscription membership thing, you get access to virtual consoles for a lot of previous consoles. And it's great.
Yeah.
I love the ability to play all this older stuff. They added the GameCube, some GameCube games, so a GameCube virtual console. You can't use it if you don't have a Switch 2. It's exclusive to. So if you want to play the GameCube virtual console games, you're going to have a Switch 2.
It's
like
You can't even
reason you
play
could.
all the virtual consoles because you have to pay for the upgrade to get the N64.
Well, the N64
So, yeah, it is.
and the Sega Genesis and stuff is added into that.
Yeah.
Gaming's doing great, everybody.
Everything's good. Everything's fine. Eat your dinner, goddammit.
Well, goodbye, Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Really quick, we lost Robert Duvall.
Yeah. Bummer.
James Vanderbeek,
I mean,
we
he
lost.
lived a good old age.
Yeah,
He did
it
live a
was
good life.
surprise.
I forgot to bring up James Vanderbeek last week.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I apologize for missing his name, but the architect behind the Sega consoles also passed away last week.
Oh, man.
So, like the OG Sega consoles up to the Dreamcast, he was like the head architect.
Oh, man, hero.
I
Like,
know.
what a legend.
What a legend. Ross, you're going to have to leave us.
I probably will, yeah. I
Oh,
probably need to get up a little bit early tomorrow. So I gotta
Before you
skedaddle.
leave, I want to bring up a couple bits of news really quickly into the news.
News Dump Online.
Oh, no.
This is the Distracted Gamers. Connecting you now.
What a transition. God, we're professional.
I'm really good at this. All
Yeah.
right. Really quickly, because I wanted you to stick around, Ross, let's bring up High Guard really quickly and the aftermath.
Well, yeah, we did have quite the extended discussion on this game, didn't we, Red?
Yes. Well, Mr. Sobel, who we talked about his online post, has shut down his Twitter account.
No. Oh, dear.
Apparently he got very harassed. I'm going to be honest, we were very kind to him and very magnanimous.
I thought
Just
so.
heavily disagreed. Now, I don't think we directly had any influence because we don't have any influence on the internet.
I influence people, Red, for good.
But
Yeah, he was getting eaten alive in the comments.
I think he
Oh, yeah.
thought that he was going to come across as brilliant and everybody's going to be more understanding to the situation that they found themselves in. And I think he thought that it was going to go over a lot better than it did. And it did not.
Yeah. No.
On top of this, the High Guard website went down a few days later.
Yeah.
No. That instills confidence in your live service game.
Things are going really well in old High Guard town.
Oh, yeah.
But we also learned some interesting information about High Guard, Ross.
We sure did, because I remember when we were talking about it, I thought it was very strange. I think I even mentioned it in our discussion that it's really weird that they would go, like, they would make a AAA level live action, like live service game right out the gate.
Yeah.
And, I thought that was really odd.
Well, what happened?
Well, Rat, turns out, looks like Tencent was the major financial backer behind that Wildlight Studios. So
That's right, the giant
Independent my ass.
billion-dollar Chinese gaming conglomerate Tencent.
who is now in the process of eating Ubisoft like Kronos is eating his children.
Yes. I also learned some interesting information that High Guard didn't have an open beta.
Of course, that makes sense.
Unfortunately, it's just shocking. I mean, that's what's so funny. Like, we're making a AAA level independent live action game, or live service game. And it's like, yeah, and you're so professionally run, you didn't even beta test the goddamn thing. Brilliant. Truly run by
Everybody
brain
told us
trust.
it was good, except for genuine general audience consumers.
Yeah. Like, what, are you afraid they're going to leak out what it is? Like, make them sign an NDA. What are you, nuts? Jesus.
That's what companies do all the time. So why didn't
All
they do
the time.
it? Was it because they were kind of thinking, maybe this is not going to go the way we think it will? Or did they really think that they were so good that they didn't need to do an open beta?
Well, just reiterate why the Tencent thing's a big deal. Sobel made a big deal about the fact that they're an indie studio.
Yeah. He mentioned it quite a lot in his article.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being funded by a giant multi-billion-dollar Chinese corporation.
I'll be honest. I mean, I don't think he was like a big exec at Wildlight, right? Like he was just a designer, right?
Uh-huh.
But I don't think he knew Tencent was the money bags, the daddy warbucks for Wildlight. How pissed do you think he was after like it comes out like, yeah, Tencent was funding him? It's like, oh damn it, like, oh no way. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't know, because if he did know, what an ass, what an absolute ass. But I don't think he did. I will say that. I don't think he did.
They don't usually tell the programmers.
No, or like art leads or anything like that. They don't do that, which is fine. Like, I don't think he knew, but man, I would be so pissed off. Like, really? I put all this effort into sweeping for us as an independent studio, and turns out like the great evil of gaming is funding us.
That's like a Christian denomination finally figuring out that actually they were founded by Satan.
Yeah, right. Like, oops.
Really quick bit of information. Apparently, Ubisoft has 2 Far Cry games in development. And this has been the longest we've been without a Far Cry, which is 5 years, I believe, since Far Cry 6.
Or maybe 4 by the end of this year. I think 6 was 22, wasn't it? I think.
I don't know. I mean, that could be a good
Far Cry
thing.
6. Since Ubisoft launched Far Cry 2, let's see, Far Cry 6, it's been 5 years since Far Cry 6 in the fall. So by this fall, it'll be 5.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
But 2 at the same time, that seems weird. Does that seem weird? I mean, look,
It does.
if
It
this
really
was
does.
Ubisoft of 5-6 years ago, I mean, there's about 1 billion branches of them. I know those branches have been trimmed quite vigorously as of late, so it seems like a lot to take on.
It does.
Yeah.
Look forward
It also
to...
seems to.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it also seems that this could dilute the sales a bit, especially if they're all coming out at the same time.
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but it is weird that you would like it would. I mean, was that a leak or an announcement that they have 2 in development? Because if it's an announcement, what a strange one.
I mean, maybe
it is
it's
an
a maybe
announcement.
Oh, that's weird.
it could be good, could be bad. On the one hand, if they've got 2 in development, it could be that one is going to be coming out sooner and it's further along, and the other one is for down the road a bit. But they're
2-3 years down the
work on it
road.
right now.
Yeah.
But if they're trying to bring them to market both at the same time, that seems like a weird move there.
Well, and Ubisoft apparently is going through cuts, which has sparked mass strikes at Ubisoft.
Yeah. Shocking.
Well, when the
French striking? Weird.
when the union comes out and demands that the CEO resign,
Yeah. Good sign.
And before I let Ross go, one of my favorite more bits of news, which I think is really funny. So, the WGA is anticipating strike soon, and in response, the WGA staff has gone on strike. So the people who work for the Writers Guild of America are striking against the union, the Writers Guild of America.
Oh my god.
That's right, strike inception, baby.
Oh, that's beautiful. The
The union working for the union is striking against the union.
which I mean, when you think about it, like optics wise, looks really bad, right? Because I mean, this is supposed to be a workers' union, and you know we're fighting for the betterment of our. And it's like, yeah, but you treat your employees like shit. What are you talking about? That's really they're so mad they're striking.
The Pacific Northwest Staff Union is striking against the Writers Guild Staff Union.
I has that ever happened before?
I don't know. It's funny though.
It's really funny. I've never heard of that before. Because I've never heard of a union needing workers from a union to work for. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this is a sign that these unions are a little bit bloated.
yeah,
If we
I mean,
could
it does
get
make
3
sense.
levels of Inception, it would be awesome.
Oh, the
Strike
union that
Inception.
works for the Pacific Northwest Staff Union. Yeah.
Yeah. The
it does make
janitors.
sense that you would expect people from the that are staffing the union to be part of it. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you can't have the boss man be a part of the worker union. So
No.
it makes sense that if there is a union for the people who work at the Writers Guild offices, it would be a separate union.
They're pro-union, obviously.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Very. Yeah.
What are you gonna bring in scabs?
Oh, you know they will.
We got to get our work
Um,
done.
Though I have a bit. I mean, if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. Probably not a huge amount more news, but some interesting stuff to talk about.
I can stick around. I mean, news dump usually goes. It doesn't go super long anyway,
I
so
try
I'll
and
stick
push it
around.
forward. Sony Pictures is offering targeted buyouts instead of mass layoffs.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, things that seem to
Interesting.
be going poorly at Sony Pictures.
yeah.
Despite
You know
the
what's funny? I was
recent K-pop Hunter success. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, like, it always seems like, I mean, because I know Sony was having problems before this, but it really seems like the Ghostbusters 2016 was kind of the marked turning point for Sony Pictures, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, everybody forgets, but around that time period, we also had the North Korean hack.
Yes.
It releasing
Yeah,
a lot
and the
of
faltering,
internal
amazing
emails.
Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically because of the criticism of Kim Jong-un. Shifting on, so Tony Gilroy, who made Andor, wanted to make Andor very overtly political, apparently. And he wanted it to be a political parallel. And Disney apparently wouldn't let him say the word fascism in Andor, especially when that Italian ideology doesn't exist in Star Wars.
I was going to say, that would be so ridiculous. Like, you could maybe use the word totalitarian or tyrant or something. Like, you can't use, I mean, that's so silly.
Well, and you hear stuff from like the clothing designer, and she's like, "We designed Mon Mothma's outfits looking at AOC, as well as."
Oh, God.
And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Ugh.
Despite
So
this, Andor's
pantsuits?
good, but the problem is when you get overtly political, it starts to cast an pall over everything.
Yep.
Mm.
Believe it or not, Donald Trump doesn't shoot lightning out of his fingers.
Oh.
Nor has he been sending people to chambers in mysterious places in Poland that I will not refer to more.
Yes.
So doing things like this tend to come across as heavily hyperbolic. And Disney seemed to have been afraid of Tony Gilroy making weird, overt political parallels that he shouldn't have been making. And
Yeah.
this is coming from the fact that in recent days, we've actually had a lot of actors actively shying away from overt political commentary. Neil Patrick Harris was at, I think, the Berlin Film Festival, and they had people asking him about political messaging, and he flat out said, "Yeah, I'm not really interested in that. I think what we need to do is make stuff," I'm paraphrasing, that he wants to make stuff that unites people culturally as opposed to gets overly political and makes everybody so divided. And I was like, good. Absolutely, Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
And also, Neil Patrick Harris is weirdly into magic.
Yes.
He's
Really?
a member of the Hollywood Magic Guild or whatever it is.
Yep.
He's a
That is
goofball.
hilarious.
Yeah. They apparently Kevin James has been actively trying to avoid political commentary as well, despite people trying to question him. I know Jennifer Lawrence, who's been very political in the past, recently was like, "I don't think it does us any good, and it just makes everybody hate us." I'm like, "Yeah, it does."
Wow. A celebrity finally having a little bit of come to Jesus moment there.
But doing stuff like this is what's damaging your industry and shying people away from active participation because it feels like there's a lot of personal attacks and pointing fingers, and it's like, oh, how are we going to have a common culture if this is the direction we're going. At any rate, one of the biggest bit of news that we have know nothing about, but weirdly, Obama on a podcast said that aliens are real.
Okay.
Let me make one thing clear. I've seen gray aliens.
Yeah, to quote, they're not being kept in Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States. But he said that they're real, but I haven't seen them. And then people pressed him on it, and he kind of walked it back.
I meant illegal aliens. That's what I meant.
Here's where it clarifies. I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed round. Gosh, stupid USA Today website sucks balls. Let's see. I was trying to stick to the spirit of the speed round, but since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good that there's life out there. But the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us, really. That totally is dramatically different than what you said. They're real and they're out there, Mr. President.
Let me make one thing clear. I fucked up.
You know, his handler at the Secret Service was like, "They're going to get you, Mr. President, if you don't walk that back." And he's like, "You're right."
For the love of God, Mr. President.
Well, and then so Trump feels like he has to weigh in on it, saying, "I don't know if they're real or not. I could tell you he gave classified information, and he's not supposed to do that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information."
What the hell?
Then vowed to release everything they know about aliens.
I'm going to release it all. It's going to be all out there, public, all because of me.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be amazing. The best information about aliens. It's true.
It'll be like
aliens and percent.
it'll be like the Epstein list. It'll be vague and it won't answer anything.
It's all just completely blacked out. Yeah.
So are there aliens?
Censored.
We still don't know.
The world may never know.
Freaking Tootsie Pop. So the biggest controversy in Star Trek has come from the fact that apparently the people running Star Trek have claimed that it's been review bombed heavily. That's why it's doing poorly in ratings.
Yeah.
That was it. It's been review bombed.
Franchise insiders are warning that sustained negative feedback and so-called review bombing could push Star Trek towards another long hiatus, or even threaten its viability in streaming era altogether.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Why are people mad at it? Did they just pick a franchise out of the thin blue, thin air, just to attack, or is it maybe because of the choices you guys have made for the past decade?
No, the fans are totally unreasonable.
Yeah,
and,
clearly.
They just decided to pick on us for no reason whatsoever. None.
According to Cushman, what's happened to Starfleet Academy isn't organic backlash, but coordinated review bombing. And if it continues, it could jeopardize the viability of future shows and even send the franchise into prolonged hiatus. I accept your terms.
Seriously,
yeah,
guys,
please.
This is not our fault.
Well, he acts like that's a
didn't
threat.
do anything wrong.
And I was like, if you're going to shit on the show and ruin everything, I'm more than happy to let it go into hiatus. I accept. He's like, well, if you keep doing this, we won't make new ones. Good. You won't ruin it then. And that's been sort of the criticism of Starfleet Academy is it's done so poorly that it hasn't even tracked on internal Paramount Plus. And by that I mean it's not even the top 10 of shows on Paramount Plus.
Oh
It's
God!
being beaten by reruns of King of Queens.
Great.
That's right. Kevin
That's
James
really a
is
good sign.
dominating a multi-million-dollar show.
Just
Yeah.
cut to that picture of him with his hands in his pockets, like.
Oh yeah.
It's the living.
I guess that's.
You know, I never knew that he did that famous audio clip of like the God bless our troops, God bless
Oh.
America, and gentlemen, start your engines. I never knew that was him that did that. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's it. By God, what was that? The Daytona, I think.
Yeah.
Daytona. Go away. I'm gonna have to adjust this really weirdly formatted.
I just
not a
love
lot-
how websites are after mobile. Isn't it great that mobile devices have ruined websites? Anyway.
We don't address a lot of the internal drama that's happening in tabletop and stuff, mainly because Wizards is a horrible company and I don't want to give them money. But they
It's
have
good-
apparently
good thing
been
to
in
do,
heavy
yeah.
decline. A lot of what they've been
Yeah.
doing has just been scaring away their classic fans.
Yep.
And they've pretty much only been occupied by very left-wing, heavy LGBTQ messaging in the D&D universe here. This is an image from, I believe, the player handbook of two dudes dancing and gonna make out, and pink-haired halfling.
Oh yeah. And the beast in the background, you know, the horrific one, I forget
The
its name.
Beholder.
Beholder.
With the hard eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently, the belief is that a 6th edition reboot is coming, and the heavy decline at Hasbro means that they might be trying to shift heavily away from this and try and bring back previous fans. If anybody's involved in business at all, they know it is 10 times harder, I don't know why I said that so weird, harder to bring back existing old fans or even bring in fans than it is to keep your fans. And
Yeah.
once you chase them away and they're gone, they ain't coming back. You've left.
Because they've either found a way to live without your product or replaced it with something similar.
Right. And talking to a RPG pundit, he's broken down news of a potential bomb cell development in Wizards of the Coast. Allegedly preparing to launch a 6th edition, abandoning the disastrous 2024 edition that has driven fans away in droves. Even more intriguing, the rumor suggests that the legendary creators Ed Greenwood and Tracy Hickman are being brought back to help
Wow.
salvage the franchise. To
Wow,
quote, I had
that's
said that this is
surprising.
going to be one of the possibilities of how Wizards of the Coast was going to handle Dungeons and Dragons in the future. The RPG pundit explained his video breaking the news. The source of his information came through a leaker who RPG pundit considers credible. It's somebody that I consider to be trustworthy in this, that I believe would not make something up like this. The timing of this rumored reboot is particularly telling given that the spectacular failure of the 2024 edition. The 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide infamously incorporated BDSM fetish community practices in the game for safe spaces.
Oh my god.
Having players make an X with their arms if they feel triggered by a situation, and requiring a DM to stop the game and address the player in question. The 2024 Player's Handbook is filled with imagery of BIPOC and female characters at a margin of more than 5-1 for white male characters about the direct opposition of the demographic who plays the game. Dungeons & Dragons came under further scrutiny after it was revealed that senior designer Jason Tondro penned a foreword to a history book on Dungeons & Dragons calling Gary Gygax misogynistic and accusing him of cultural appropriation.
Oh, God. Yeah. J.R.R. Tolkien's culture, to be specific. So, yeah, okay.
This prompted Elon Musk to raise questions as to how much Hasbro costs for him to buy the parent company of Wizards of the Coast and save Dungeons & Dragons from all of these woke controversies. The new 2024 Monster Manual has made a lot of woke changes, including removing orcs as monsters, but also adding gender ideology elements to creatures like hags, succubus, and sphinxes. Fans have been vocal in complaining about the mistreatment of the game. Former World of Warcraft lead designer Mark Kern, aka Grums, posted about all of the troubles this edition of D&D is having so far, saying half-hells have gone from new D&D player handbook. D&D 2024 has done so much damage to Dungeons & Dragons thanks to Wizards of the Coast, woke designers removing half-elves from the game due to it somehow being racist. What are they about racial purity now? How is that even more racist? Remove half-orcs because I guess it's considered racist. And they're no longer monsters in the Monster Manual.
I think the half-orc thing is more of a different controversy there.
Well, right. But they've long associated orcs with black people, which is also really racist.
Yeah, that is true.
But
yes.
their new art in the book has made them look more Mexican, which I don't know how that's better.
Orcs are freaking green. If there is anything in there that is equating orcs with black people, I believe that's all on you guys. You guys are the ones who are seeing it as racist. They are monsters. It has nothing to do with an actual person or a race. They are monsters.
At any rate, it just seems like another industry that has gone down the road of damaging its own reputation for political purposes, chasing away their audience, and then destroying their company as they go. Success.
Things are going well for them. That's good. It's great.
And we got the news dump done in record time. Thoughts?
I'm going to go back to what I was saying a little bit earlier, where we were talking about some of the motivation for some of these things, where we were saying that obviously companies are motivated by money, and they're trying to chase the almighty dollar. But
Maybe.
instead of trying to bring in new customers while not alienating their current customers, it seems that they think that they can do it. They can go it alone. Basically, it's like, we don't really need you guys. We can do this. We can attract new customers. You guys are problematic. And then when they fail, they're like, "Why weren't you supporting us? It's all your fault that we failed."
I would clarify that companies should be motivated by money. I think they make a lot of decisions that are not financially good decisions. That are ideologically
I would say the
motivated.
company is motivated by money, but the people in the company aren't always necessarily motivated by money.
Theoretically, but look at it this way. We had, much like the chasing away the bro culture and damaging Xbox, we had companies famously like Budweiser who did a whole advertisement that was counter to the beer culture. And it's like, these people aren't going to drink beer. Why are you attacking men? Like, I mean, Gillette was the biggest razor company in the world for men. And they made a company criticizing men and toxic masculinity. Made a commercial criticizing men and toxic
There's
masculinity.
Gillette, Harley
Is that
Davidson,
a financially good
Budweiser.
decision? Is that company making good decisions for the purposes of the company? I think companies constantly make ideological decisions that make no sense, and then they lose money, and then they're like, oh no, but then they can't regain their reputation after that. And some companies keep doubling down and keep it going because the financial damage isn't sufficient enough to actually bring it down in one go. It just slowly bleeds it over time. Like Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sweet Silver, have we kept you quiet like a good woman should?
Yes. Have I been good?
I don't know. She was talking.
When
Maybe
I
we're
gave her
letting her,
permission.
Yeah.
A bucket of fish heads.
Give me my dinner, my fish heads.
Get back in the kitchen, kitchen wench.
I thought of an amazing character I should do called misogynistic.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
just
like,
super into the
hey.
patriarchy.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Look forward to that program in the future on ABC.
It'll be like a 1950s cooking channel, pans over to Godzilla cat in an apron.
I'll be your next door neighbor with the android wife.
Oh yeah.
We have a good relationship. She keeps her dirty mouth shut.
yeah, just a really strange android wife situation that
It's
we
not
don't.
sexist. She's a robot.
She
Yeah,
has no
I get
feelings.
it.
Especially
Uh-huh.
feelings
Yeah,
physical when I wail on her.
those are simulated tears.
Did you see
is.
somebody actually posted something online? Of course it was a white woman. Where it was something like I think it was Britain too, going after people for saying things like clanker.
Oh my
It's
god,
considered-
no!
Yeah.
Joke, the fake racism toward AI.
Isn't that a Clones War reference, technically?
Well, because people
Jesus.
feel that as AI is becoming more of a thing, and maybe even future robots, it's like they're trying to get ahead of. They're not even racist. They're not a race.
Yeah.
Insults, slurs, I guess, when it
Clanker.
comes to the AI future. Clankers is an offensive term for someone that doesn't exist.
Can't use that. It's
Aren't plankers people
offensive.
that go out and plank?
Clankers.
I'm just kidding.
I should just get an AI girlfriend. I mean, good lord.
You can get them anywhere now. I keep seeing advertisements for them whenever I turn on anything now. It's like AI girlfriend here. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
Just a-
CAI's the big one. Go get
Just
her.
a psychologically damaging parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing bad will come of that.
She fakes the fact that she cares. Like the AI girlfriend in the second Blade Runner movie.
Yeah, what's his name? K. You're just like Ryan Reynolds, just staring at the purple light with a broken
Yeah.
nose.
Oh man,
You're a
you know,
good
as much as
Joe.
people hate that, I really liked that part of the movie because it was sort
Yeah,
of
well, yeah.
he had this personal relationship with this AI girlfriend who went out of her way to
Mhm.
encourage him and try and protect him. And she died trying to help him out and protect him from authorities. And he runs into a version of her as an advertisement, and she calls him the same names that she called him his personal girlfriend. And it was sort of this sad, close relationship, sympathetic thing. And then the advertisement acted just like her, and it was sort of like how real was the relationship, despite it meant so much to him, and it was kind of a devastating moment for his character.
Mhm.
That's what I got out of
Yeah.
that show. None of the Han Solo returning or whatever.
Yeah, no, the ridiculous Harrison Ford crap.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Ugh.
Batista was great. Not enough Batista bombs.
Yeah. No, which is there never is, frankly.
It's a devastating move. Can no tap out. What, Ross?
No, nothing. No.
All right, kids. We could drag our feet, waste our time, but Ross has to go Betty bye. And we've enjoyed your time with us. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and comment and participate. I mean, did we get stuff wrong about Xbox? Is Xbox future bright and hopeful and everything's going to be great? Or were we too positive? Is Xbox not going to stick around? And we have pretended that Xbox has got a better chance. It's already dead. I can't believe they haven't shut down the servers yet. Are you insane?
It's been a dead man walking for 10 years.
Declaring bankruptcy tomorrow. Immediately.
That would be hilarious, but yeah.
But I was about to do the cliche like I love you, but I don't.
Oh.
You know what? I might be your best friend, but you're my very good friend.
Oh, what?
Hey.
All right, let's get out of here. I appreciate you, everybody, and goodbye.
If you like the show, follow Rhett, Jason, Ross, and Silver, the world's most lethally stupid internet personalities, on Twitter at DG Podcast or on Instagram at Distracted Gamers. If you liked or hated what you heard here today, you can email them at thedistractedgamers@gmail.com and share your feelings. Not that Jason would care, since he hasn't any, of course.